Now with the Metro Action Commission, and Cynthia, if you could introduce yourself, your colleague, and then make whatever presentation you'd like.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Joining me at the table is our CFO, Ms. Melissa Weaver, and also joining us in the room is the rest of our leadership team that's present with us today. Mayor, I'll be brief and just mention a couple of accomplishments that we're pleased with this year. As you know, we've moved back now into our brand new building, the Frederick Douglass building that was destroyed as a part of the 2010 flood, and so we're excited to be back in that location. In addition to that, this is the first year that we've finished or completed our pilot, which is called MAC for Jobs, which is a program to help Head Start parents gain employment as well as address other barriers to their receiving employment, and you'll see some information listed about the number of parents we've assisted with expungements, the number that we've assisted with getting jobs, as well as a number of our parents who've received assistance with English as a second language. As you know, 2 of our locations have a large both Hispanic and Kurdish population, and so there's information about our accomplishment as it relates to that. We remain the largest provider of summer food services for children in Davidson County. We serve over 100 locations, about 110 locations, and we expect that that number will be close to the same in the upcoming year. That's really all I wanted to share in terms of accomplishments, but some good news coming out of the federal side. The sequestration cut that we took on last year, which was a 5.27% decrease in our Head Start budget, that was about $575,000 for Head Start and about $50,000 for early, will be returned to our agency effective July 1. And so the 2% reduction in pay that our staff received, as well as the additional cuts that we had to make last year, that money is being restored effective the new fiscal year, so that funding will be returned to us. In addition to that, our staff will receive from the federal government a 1.3% cost of living increase. And that's for the Head Start staff only. The state has announced that it will not be giving raises to its staff, which means our community services staff will not receive a raise through the state-funded grant. I want to just mention a couple of other things as it relates to budget. We know that there's an anticipated increased cost in fringe and benefits, and as you know, that poses a bit of a concern to us, as it has each year, because the federal government has already capped the fringe costs that we are allowed to charge to them. I think the only other thing that I want to mention as it relates to the budget and impact is that now that THDA is the grantee for LIHEAP, we are seeing an actual break in the time when we're receiving LIHEAP funding. So this year we are already out of LIHEAP funding, and we do not anticipate an additional appropriation until May, which means all of our other resources that go to help our citizens with their energy assistance or payments is being utilized. That's a first where we expect that we will expend everything that we have, including the local money available to us, in order to try and cover the number of applications that we already have on hand. We expect that next year will be similar. Consequently, the cut that we've proposed, which is the 3% cut that we were supposed to put forth, is still to our direct services line, again causing some concern just based on the fact that LIHEAP funding is not consistent in the way it's been when the Department of Human Services was managing those dollars. So those are some of the budget concerns that we have or issues that we want to share with you. We are pleased, of course, that federal funding is being returned to the organization after experiencing a cut, but want to make sure that you're aware that we are watching very closely the fringe cost and the possible stress to our budgets as it relates to cost in the upcoming year. That's really all I have at this time, and I'll be more than happy to take any of your questions.
Well, first, congratulations on the new building.
Thank you.
Reopening it looks great, and I hope it's going well. We're going into the summer months, and could you talk a little bit about the feeding, low income and children at risk and meals?
I can. As you know, each year we have our summer food service program, and we provide both breakfast and lunch meals to children in Davidson County. And that's over 246,000 meals, 224 this year, that we served last year. So that's a huge program for us. It's children who are out of school. As you know, the school system in Davidson County has an extremely large percentage of children who are on free and reduced lunch. So this program is extremely critical in terms of being able to provide meals. Again, we served 110 locations across the county, a lot of them parks, a number of folks who are providing services for children throughout the summer. We provide meals for those locations. Those meals are prepared at our location, and then our staff actually distributes those meals to those 110 locations.
Okay.
Nothing. Cynthia, the LAHEAP, so you get from state pass-through LAHEAP money?
Yes.
And so are you going to get less money because it's going through THA, or just a timing issue?
It's not less, but it is definitely the timing. And as you know, the fiscal year changed from July 1 with that funding to October 1. And so now, the way the funding is coming in at the heaviest times of the year, which is the summer months, we're really concerned that now the additional appropriation that we're getting in May may not carry us through to the end of the summer. In addition to that, we have already served about 1,500 more people than we did this time last year, and we know that having that extreme winter had a huge impact on people's bills, especially senior citizens, and so we think that that is a factor as well. Our hope is that as more time goes by with THDA administering the program, that we'll see more leveling out of the timing on that funding, but we have about a 2-month split between the time that we've now run out and when we expect to receive the additional dollars. I should also mention that we also have over 3,000 applications already on hand that we're still processing, and so additional applications coming in is likely going to, the dollars that we expect to get in May, we'll be processing applications that will already be on hand from the waiting list that we have right now.
And when you process the applications, is there a limit, a maximum amount that can be received?
That is correct.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you may have to just spread that out a little bit in order to make it work.
What we're looking at is whether or not we would need to bring the amount down, which I think is the point that you're making, to see if we can spread it out a little bit more. We'll be going to our board with that conversation because, as I said, we're now spending all of the other funds that we have on hand. So community services block grant money, we're transferring some of that to provide energy. We already received money from Piedmont Gas. We will expend all of that, as well as the dollars that we have available, the local money, through the Community Services Assistance Program.
But this should just be a one-time problem, shouldn't it?
That's what we're hoping.
And then then you have some extra, and you just have to budget a little better.
We're hoping it'll level out.
Yeah.
The amount we're anticipating getting in May is about $1.8 million, but I can tell you $1.8 million may take us through end of summer. It depends on how many applications we will already have on hand by the time May gets here. But as you know, that fiscal year doesn't end until October 1. Right. So we then still have to go 3 months with the possibility of no additional appropriation on the federal side. So we are concerned about that.
Great. Well, thank you for your great work. And
thank you, Mayor.
Thanks for the cookies.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Thank you all.
See ya.